Tonight, we start off by telling you about the Auburn University Theater Department's fall play, as well as Beat Bama Food Drive's kickoff banquet. Then, we'll inform you of Picnic on the Plains, followed by an open mic night at a local coffee shop.
We'll also take a look nationally by discussing former President Donald Trump's upcoming trial and the 6-year anniversary of the mass shooting in Las Vegas. Finally, you'll get an Auburn sports update in the Pet of the Week. All of that and more is coming up next on Eagle Eye's Monday News Show at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm John Huff.
And I'm Kensley Davis. Entering its 110th season themed In the Light, the Auburn University Department of Theater and Dance is kicking off the fall semester with Robert O'Hara's Barbecue. This rowdy comedy is hilarious and displays a complex, dysfunctional family dynamic while confusing and surprising you all at once. When all comes together, this play provokes a shift in perspective and will leave the audience questioning stories they have both heard and told. With a diverse cast of 11 Auburn students as well as an extensive production team, this show is running in the Telfair Pete Theater from now until October 8th. The show is intended for mature audiences. For more specific information on this content and how to purchase tickets, visit cla.auburn.edu/theater.
A number of liberal arts students were in attendance at last week's Journalism and PR Day programs held on the second floor of the Melton Student Center. Moderated by professors, panels of journalism professionals and Auburn alumni held hour-long sessions Tuesday to discuss the journalism industry and answer any questions. C.J. Holmes, an Auburn grad and Golden State Warriors reporter for the San Francisco Chronicle, served as this semester's keynote speaker. You can't get to the end until you've been changed by the journey. Friday's Public Relations Day program offered similar opportunities for PR students. A single session with 5 public relations speakers, the hour-and-a-half-long panel filled up almost every seat, with students eager for more information. For more information on future events, check out cla.auburn.edu/cmjm. Today's members of the Beat Bama Food Drive and Beat Auburn Beat Hunger met with Governor Kay Ivey at the Alabama State Capitol to commemorate the fundraiser's 30th year. Kickoff took place Friday afternoon at Auburn University. Eagle Eye's Sydney Babb reports.
Today, Beat Bama Food Drive is out on Auburn's campus raising awareness for their organization as well as working to raise money. They've invited student organization leaders to be dunked in a dunk tank. One dunk equals $1. $5 gets you unlimited dunks. That way they can promote their organization to students.
1 in 5 families in our state they don't know where their next meal is coming from. And so $1 provides 7 meals for families in need all across the 7 counties surrounding Lee County.
The history of the dunk tank really started 3 years ago in 2021. That team really wanted to bring something new and fresh to campus and really wanted to bring something fun and vibrant for the community. And so I thought, why not a dunk tank? And it's kind of become BFD's thing. We love dunking on hunger. And so this event is our kickoff. It's become a signature event for the university. Everyone loves BFD kickoff. It really kicks off the best 48 days on campus. We've got events every single day, really just focusing on making fighting food insecurity fun and making giving back fun.
One of these events happened earlier in the week. The BBFD Hunger Banquet was an opportunity for students to see just how many people are affected by food insecurity, attending a dinner that demonstrated the differences between economic classes.
We hope that tonight will help you gain a greater insight not only to the experience but have an empathy for what so many in our community go through. We also hope that this inspires you to go out and do your part, finding ways that you can make a difference in your own community.
For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Sydney Babb.
When we return from this short break, we'll give you a first-hand look at Well Red's open mic night and the Picnic on the Plains. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6. A
collaboration between UPC, the Circle, and Weagle made for a night of creativity and fun for many Auburn students. Allison Ferran has more.
It's open mic night at Well Red Coffee House and Bookstore, hosted by UPC, Weagle, and the Circle. Eagle Eye is here to give you all the details on this night of fun and entertainment.
Auburn students were invited to join the organizations in celebrating music, poetry, and stand-up comedy performed by their peers. Any student could sign up to showcase their talents.
It's really exciting to perform in front of all these people from the Circle and the Weagle and the UPC and all across the campus, and that is why I'm here, telling my life story through a comedic take.
I am a singer-songwriter, so I've been writing songs and performing places for many years now, but it's just a fun way to see everyone in the community and see what they have up their sleeve with either poetry or songwriting, or comedian acts, some good ones.
The University Program Council puts on many events throughout the semester to promote student involvement. We spoke with one UPC member about the significance of these events.
I would say that these events are important to students at Auburn because they really bring the community together. I know countless friendships that have been formed through these events, and they also educate and inspire students. A lot of what we do are like events where you can do classes and like learn new things, or concerts and you get exposed to new art and artists. So yeah, I'd say educate and inspire, and then also a lot of friendships come out of them.
For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Allison Ferran.
Weagle had another collaborative effort this past week, inviting a number of students to cater lawn for fellowship and food. Selena Allman was on the scene. Let's take a look.
Here at Auburn, there is always something happening on Cater Lawn. Today, Weagle and Emerge at Auburn are here as they collaborate for Picnic on the Plains.
It was a beautiful day here on campus as these organizations converged. Leadership is a strong factor in bringing students together, and Emerge aims to do just that.
Yeah, so Emerge at Auburn, it's a student-led leadership organization. Everyone working out here today is a student that's just interested in promoting leadership and getting everyone on Auburn's campus more knowledgeable about their leadership skills. And so it's really awesome to host events like this because we kind of get to have fun with it, kind of get to see that even leaders can come out here and have fun and get some free food and listen to music and kind of also have a leadership aspect to it.
Weagle and Emerge came together to promote friendship, involvement, and eat good food. A couple students shared their experiences.
I feel like everyone is very welcome, and that's the nice thing is like everyone can kind of come here. You see people who might not normally see each other on campus. You got people of every major.
I saw the event on AU Involve and it looked like fun, so I thought I'd show up. I'm just having a picnic with my friends. We're just chatting.
For more information to get involved, you can visit the AU Involve website.
For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Selena Alleman.
When we come back, we'll take a national look at Donald Trump's upcoming civil fraud trial, followed by the anniversary of the tragic mass shooting in Las Vegas. You're watching Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
On Monday, former President Donald Trump is set to appear in person as his New York civil fraud trial begins. He arrived at Trump Tower in Manhattan Sunday night after campaigning in Iowa ahead of the January caucuses. New York's Attorney General is seeking $250 million in the case against Trump, his eldest sons, and their companies. They're accused of significantly inflating the value of their properties to banks and insurers for years. CNN's Kara Scannell has the details.
Donald Trump falsely inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself and to cheat the system, thereby cheating all of us.
A monumental moment for former President Donald Trump, his family, and the company that bears his name. The New York Attorney General's civil fraud lawsuit alleging Trump, his adult sons, and his business engaged in a decade-long fraud begins in a Manhattan courtroom today. Attorney General Letitia James says Trump and others pumped up the value of multiple properties, including Mar-a-Lago, his triplex apartment in Trump Tower, the family home in New York known as Seven Springs, and numerous golf courses. By doing so, she alleges Trump lined his own pockets.
Mr. Trump and the Trump Organization saved an estimated $150 million by receiving favorable interest rates that were only provided based on the false and misleading statements of financial condition. We also believe that he illegally saved millions of dollars in federal tax benefits.
The case will be decided by New York State Judge Arthur Engoron, who has already found Trump engaged in persistent fraud for a decade, writing in a ruling last week that Trump is living in, quote, a fantasy world, and he canceled business certificates for several Trump entities. James is still seeking to hold the Trumps individually accountable and prove they conspired and falsified business records, issued false financial statements, and engaged in insurance fraud.
I don't know what I did wrong.
This is the first court case to put the Trump family on trial and threatens to tarnish the image Trump carefully crafted as a successful businessman and used to catapult himself to the White House. James is planning to call 28 witnesses during the trial, including the former president and all 3 of his adult children. Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, whose testimony on Capitol Hill in 2019 kickstarted the investigation, is also on the witness list.
It was my experience that Mr. Trump inflated his total assets when it served his purposes, such as trying to be listed amongst the wealthiest people in Forbes, and deflated his assets to reduce his real estate taxes.
Trump has denied any wrongdoing.
This is the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country.
And claims the Attorney General has unfairly targeted him.
She developed a political platform and made a career out of maliciously attacking me and my business before she even understood or was elected or reviewed one of the millions of pages of documents we willingly produced.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy got over a major political hurdle this weekend. But his actions that helped temporarily avert a government shutdown appears to have opened another challenge within his own party. John Lorink reports.
While the Biden White House breathed a sigh of relief after a government shutdown was avoided before the Saturday night deadline,
a needless crisis will have been averted, saving millions of Americans needless pain.
Republican Representative Matt Gaetz of Florida was not happy with the end result because House Speaker Kevin McCarthy worked alongside Democrats to get a deal done.
I do intend to file a motion to vacate against Speaker McCarthy this week. I think we need to rip off the Band-Aid. I think we need to move on with new leadership that can be trustworthy.
McCarthy says he's not surprised about the threat from Gaetz.
This is personal with Matt. Matt voted against the most conservative ability to protect our border, secure our border. He's more interested in securing TV interviews than doing something.
The stopgap bill signed over the weekend keeps the government running through November 17th, and Gaetz wants McCarthy gone long before then.
The only way Kevin McCarthy is Speaker of the House at the end of this coming week is if Democrats bail him out. Now, they probably will.
McCarthy, meanwhile, isn't backing down.
Bring it on, let's get over with it, and let's start governing. If he's upset because he tried to push us in a shutdown and I made sure government didn't shut down, then let's have that fight.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Dianne Feinstein, whose 3 decades in the Senate made her the longest-serving woman in the U.S. Senate in history, has died following months of declining health. She was 90 years old, and today her peers are honoring her and her long life of service. As she's being remembered, there are concerns about who will replace her in the Senate. Mike Valerio is in Los Angeles for us with a look at Feinstein's storied legacy and what happens next.
Dianne Feinstein emerged on the national stage in 1978 after tragedy rocked San Francisco.
Mayor Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk have been shot and killed.
After the assassinations, Feinstein was sworn in as the first woman to be mayor of the city by the Bay. Mayor Feinstein quickly got the attention of the National Democratic Party, landing on a short list of VP candidates for Walter Mondale in 1984.
We will take back our unity.
Feinstein made it to Washington when she won a special election in 1992.
I won among men, I won among women, I won in every age level, I won in every ethnic group. Now what that says is that to me, the fact that I'm a woman is there, but it's incidental.
Feinstein was crucial in passing the 1994 federal ban on assault weapons.
I've seen assassination, I've seen killing, I've been a mayor, I know what these guns can do.
But Dianne,
why is it every man comes before me and says, nice lady, you really don't know?
She broke many barriers and was the first woman to chair the Senate Intelligence Committee. In February 2023, Feinstein announced she would not run for re-election. Her last time in the Senate was Thursday morning.
So today,
we grieve. We look at that desk and we know what we have lost. But we also give thanks.
California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom will now appoint a lawmaker to serve out the rest of Feinstein's term. Dianne Feinstein now leaves a legacy from the capital to California of uncommon generosity of spirit and resilience. In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
It's been 6 years since a gunman fired on a crowd attending a country music festival in Las Vegas. 58 people died in the mass shooting and hundreds of others suffered injuries. On Sunday, mourning people gathered in downtown Las Vegas for a remembrance ceremony. Brian Horwath has more.
One October, the senseless tragedy that took innocent souls, upended our lives, and devastated our community.
You can move on, you can change the name.
For many, the trauma of what happened in Las Vegas on October 1st, 2017 will always be relived on this day.
Many of our officers were working the concert, who rushed into danger, and today are still dealing with their own scars.
Especially by those who were at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival.
Memories of my sisters. I was there with her.
Malcolm Bisember lost his sister, Samantha Arjun, when she passed away in 2020 from injuries she suffered that night. Like so many others who were there, Bisember says he remains tormented.
Just keep thinking of what more could I have done. You know, it's not an easy day for us.
58 people lost their lives that night when a gunman opened fire on festival goers from a strip hotel room window. 2 more, including Arjun, died in the months and years that followed. From an unthinkable loss of life, Clark County Commissioner Jim Gibson says the Las Vegas Valley looked for hope and comfort, and is still doing so today.
Over the course of time, we have to take with us the healing. And to the extent that we get healed, we're able to help others.
We became members of a club that we didn't volunteer for.
Steve Gomez, who lost his daughter Angela, says the pain of 1 October still feels the same years later.
It's the day I lost my baby girl. And you know, we can be mad, but we're blessed that we know she's in heaven.
When we return, Jack Corbett will bring us all the latest in Auburn themed sports. Stay tuned. You're watching Eagle Eye TV.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye TV. I'm Jack Corbett, and let's get into some Auburn sports. Starting off with volleyball, Auburn has had a busy week of SEC conference play. On Wednesday, the Tigers traveled to Fayetteville to play number 14 Arkansas in a ranked thriller. The injury-ridden Tigers were without Zoe Slaughter, Fallon Lanham, Bella Bell, and Jasmine Okiyama this week, and this showed on Wednesday. Auburn struggled to gain any momentum on the road and lost to Arkansas in 3 straight sets. However, the Tigers bounced back Sunday and gave Auburn the win they were desperately looking for over UGA, winning 3-1 and sending the Bulldogs back to the kennel. Looking ahead, the Tigers will travel to Gainesville Friday against number 4 Florida after a heartbreaking loss to them 2 weeks ago. That game will be at 6 p.m. Central Time on SEC Network. In soccer news, Auburn had a big game this week against the defending SEC champs, number 15 South Carolina. The game remained tied throughout the entire first half and for most of the second until the 80th minute when junior Sidney Thibodeau ripped a shot into the back of the net to make the game 1-0. With less than 10 minutes remaining in the game, an upset alert seemed highly likely. However, the reigning SEC champs would not go down so easily. South Carolina would storm back, scoring in the 84th and 86th minute, and Auburn would lose 2-1 in heartbreaking fashion. The Soccer Tigers look to bounce back this Thursday in a huge game in Tuscaloosa where they will face number 9 Alabama in the world's greatest rivalry.
And now finally, football. The Deep South's oldest rivalry was on full display this Saturday as the Hugh Freeze Tigers looked to upset the #1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs before going into their bye week. Jordan Hare was an orange sea as the fan atmosphere was electric and this game was an absolute battle. After both teams traded punts early in the first, junior quarterback Peyton Thorne rushed for a gain of 61 yards to set up Auburn kicker Alex McPherson for a field goal to get the Tigers on the board first. On the next drive, UGA quarterback Carson Beck threw an interception to Jalen Simpson, which was Simpson's 4th in 5 games. A rushing touchdown by Jarquez Hunter followed, and Auburn led 10-0 at the end of the first. However, Georgia showed in the second quarter why they're ranked #1. The Bulldogs would storm down the field on the first drive of the second quarter and make the game 10-7. After a punt by Auburn, Georgia's next drive set them up for a field goal, and the game was tied at 10 going into halftime. In the second half, Auburn continued to set the tone of the game. Jalen McLeod recovered a fumble on UGA's first drive of the second half, and backup QB Robbie Ashford ran it into the end zone only 3 plays later to give Auburn a 17-10 lead. UGA answered later in the third to make the game tied at 17 as Auburn's defense struggled to hold the Bulldogs at bay on third downs. Georgia would get the ball first in the fourth, and they set themselves up for a second field goal to take a 20-17 lead. On the next drive, Auburn responded with a field goal of their own to make the game 20-all with only 6 minutes and 21 seconds left in the game. The idea of an upset flooded the crowd's minds, and even security surrounded the field in preparation for Auburn fans to storm the field. However, UGA would crush the dreams of over 88,000 fans, as on the next drive, star tight end Brock Bowers would complete a 40-yard pass and run it into the end zone. On Auburn's final chance of the game, Peyton Thorne threw an interception, and the Bulldogs would escape with a 27-20 victory. That's all I have for Auburn Sports News. I'm Jack Corbett, and you're watching Eagle Eye TV News at 6.
The weekend box office battle was between a notorious killer and some animated puppies. Who came out on top? David Daniel has early estimates for the top 5 films in theaters.
He becomes the devil's son.
The Blind opened in 5th place on ticket sales of $4.1 million. The Nun 2 fell from 1st to 4th, scaring up $4.7 million. The Creator debuted in 3rd place, starting out with $14 million.
I've had my eyes on you, and I do not like what I see.
Saw X opened in 2nd place, collecting $18 million, more than the 10th film in the franchise cost to make, but not nearly enough to win the weekend.
Look at your paws! Whoa! It's some kind of fireball.
Paw Patrol: The Mighty Movie was the top dog, debuting with $23 million, as small children and their parents filled movie theaters for the animated adventure. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
A doggone bizarre traffic moment caught on camera has gone viral, and once you see it, you'll see why. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Police in Slovakia had a bone to pick with a motorist after traffic cameras captured what appeared to be the man's dog behind the wheel of a speeding car. In what's already a legendary Facebook post, police shared traffic cam images clearly showing the dog behind the wheel. According to the post, the driver, who was cited and fined, claimed the dog unexpectedly jumped into his lap, but police said there was no video evidence to support that claim. In fact, no moving video was released at all, which is a doggone shame. The pic, of course, went viral though, and social media did what it does best, offering such helpful insights as that dog likely drives better than most people. To wit, video from New Jersey shows a very human driver crashing into a police station and then immediately surrendering to officers who seemed kind of unfazed by the surreal and brash crash. The man was reportedly blaring the song Welcome to the Jungle during the crash, which police say they now believe was intentional. Keeping the car craziness a-rollin', take a look at a next-level tailgate party, courtesy of Lions fans in a strange land. Dubbed the Tub Gators, this crew of Detroit faithful made a big splash in Green Bay, partying at the Packers game in their hot tub tailgate and tavern on wheels. They were good sports, though, inviting cheeseheads into their frothy football fricassee to break bread, beers, rather. Finally, if you're behind the wheel and are in the mood for some lovely fall foliage sightseeing, then steer this away. The amazing seasonal color transformation is already taking over in places like Utah, where folks like this motorcycle rider are already falling for fall. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
The Lee County Humane Society has undergone some rebranding and shelter expansion. With that, the organization has a new name. Standing for compassion, adoption, rescue, and education, Care Humane Society continues to offer homeless animals the best chance possible for finding their forever homes. On that note, meet our latest pet of the week, Lady Mustachio. With her unique mustache and cow-like spots all over her body, this furry feline is looking for the perfect person with a comfortable blanket to be her permanent family. Afraid of quick movements, this kitty loves spending her time with people who allow her the time to come out of her shell and cuddle up on their laps. This 5-month-old is spayed, neutered, and available today. We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm John Huff.
And I'm Kensley Davis. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.